Time for yeah.
It's written for many. Now suck your blood. Now suck
Politics.
your blood.
Politics.
Okay, this one's just a quick little update for those who are sort of following the slow disintegration of the support for President Biden. But as we move into the midterm election season, all those promises that he made to all of his sort of very passionate, progressive, liberal, radical Democrat young people who are just craving some communism. Of course, he was never going to do that, but it's time for another election season. So let's talk about it more. This is coming from Yahoo.com, mirrored from the Huffington Post, HuffPost. The headline is Biden is considering significant student loan debt cancellation, say lawmakers. President Joe Biden suggested to lawmakers that he is not only looking at further extending the pause on federal student loan payments, but could also soon announce a broader cancellation of student loan debt. A lot of, looking at, could, might language. At a closed-door meeting with the members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus on Monday, Biden indicated that he may soon issue an executive action to cancel some federal student loan debt. Lawmakers and aides told the Washington Post and CBS News. Quote, I feel very confident that he is pushing on his team to do something and to do something significant. Representative Tony Cardenas, Democrat of California, told the Post.
Doesn't sound like he's doing anything. He's pushing his team to do something, which is, telling. Come on, do something.
However, later on Monday, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki would only confirm to reporters what she had previously said, that Biden was continuing to look at options and would make a decision on taking action on student loan debt cancellation before the moratorium on payments is set to expire in August.
I think we have a clip of Biden talking about this.
Need time.
Need time. Just need more time. Give me more time. It's nap time. Yeah. And, there's not too much to say here, except for there's no way that this will happen. The fact that he was in a closed door meeting with Congressional Hispanic Caucus on Monday, Biden has lost, I believe by the numbers, the Hispanic voting bloc is his biggest loss of support.
Yeah.
More Hispanics, American Hispanics and otherwise, are turning to Trump. I mean, they're turning to the Republicans. They've, again, just been betrayed by sort of the sweet whispers of Joe Biden and the Democrats promising all sorts of things to that constituency. And by the numbers, the Hispanic vote is Biden's biggest loss. And so as midterms start ramping up, of course, he's just going to kind of say whatever he needs to say. And you know him, he says all sorts of stuff he doesn't mean. He kind of just says stuff. So I imagine that's what happened there, in hopes that the Hispanic caucus would turn around and use that as sort of fodder or ammunition to try to get Hispanics back on the side of the Democrats. But the wishy-washiness of really every single word coming out of Biden's mouth and Psaki's mouth should be a clue that they don't plan on doing anything for you, Hispanic voters.
Yep. And this is just trying to get trying to save a little face.
Same promises.
Yeah.
He could have done this at any moment, and he just hasn't done it because he doesn't want to. And no, because
Ukraine. We got to send $800 million to Ukraine multiple times.
Putin, man. Putin is.
Sorry, Putin.
I was going to cancel your student loan debt, but Putin just really hates students and loves debt, I guess.
Putin hates students. That's I love that. We'll go with that. That's a good one. This is how they come up with headlines in the newsrooms.
It's got a ring to it.
There you go. Putin hates students and education. So, we got to take care of that before we can take care of the student debt problem.
Sorry, students.
Meanwhile, in North Korea.
North Korea is kind of a bench warmer.
CBS News, North Korea showcases its biggest ICBM yet as Kim vows to hasten developments of North's nuclear arsenal. And I have a video report here. It's a minute and 22 seconds. It is from Elizabeth Palmer. And, sometimes we see these packages, these news packages that are presented, and they're especially like cable news. It's really poorly done, and the sound is bad, or the cuts are bad. And, but this one was pretty good, and everything seemed presentable, although the message is still the same old propaganda.
This is the 12th missile test in 3.5 months, and proof that North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un is fast-tracking a serious upgrade to his already fearsome arsenal. Official North Korean pictures show the launch of what South Korean analysts say were 2 short-range missiles, at least one of which landed on a tiny rocky island. Kim Jong-un is among the observers, looking especially pleased. We've seen variations of this, the launches and the happy leader every few weeks since January. They may have a cartoon quality, but they're deadly serious. On Friday, there was a huge parade in Pyongyang on a public holiday to mark the 110th anniversary of the birth of North Korea's founder, Kim Il-sung. Unusually, the only weapons on show were neon-lit models. But behind the spectacle, preparations were already underway for the very real weapons test with ominous overtones. It's not the hardware that's got alarm bells ringing this time so much as the rhetoric. The North Koreans are saying the missile is meant to carry nuclear warheads, which it already has, and analysts think we'll be seeing a new nuclear test sometime very soon.
They keep staying in the news, and I thought she did a great job of continuing to have North Korea as a piece of conversation. It's something to worry about with the nuclear threat. And yeah, she pointed out it's been in the news since January, and we've been pointing out too, like, what's the deal with that? But it seems to be, one of those issues where the intelligence agencies have control of the nation and they have control of the messaging going on out here. So, by the way, they showed like the parade from Pyongyang, and I've seen this before, but I just wanted to double check on it. There's a tower. There's a big tower, kind of looks like an obelisk, and it's got a flame at the top, like a fire at the top. It's called the Juche. Right. I don't know how to say it. The Juche. The Juche Tower, formerly the Tower of the Juche Idea, and it was constructed at 66 feet high, by the way, with an illuminated metal torch at the top. The torch is always lit, kind of like Prometheus's flames.
Of course. And
associated with the tower, there's a 33-foot high, like 6 smaller figures that are 33 feet high each, that symbolize other aspects of the Juche ideology.
Yeah, so it's basically an occult sort of power structure.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. Yeah, the Korean version of the whole same old. And just as a side note here, because the report did mention South Korea, the South Koreans reporting that North Korea has certain weapons and nuclear weapons or whatever. Yoon, so South Korea has a new leader, Yoon. I forget his full name. What is it? Yoon Suk-yeol. And today he is meeting with World Economic Forum chief Klaus Schwab.
He's meeting him today. He's getting inducted.
But he's not the only person he's meeting today. He's also meeting the founder of the Heritage Foundation. His name is Follner. I'm trying to find his first name, Follner. And you know about the Heritage Foundation. You said you knew. I knew a little bit. I knew they were kind of a think tank.
They're a big sponsor of NPR shows and things like that.
They are they according to heritage.org, their own website here, their mission is to formulate and promote public policies based on the principle of free enterprise, limited government, individual freedom, traditional American values, and a strong national defense. And it's actually a conservative think tank. Unlike many other organizations in Washington, D.C., the Heritage Foundation's focus isn't on putting more power into the hands of government. It's on returning power to the people. That's why we don't work on behalf of any special interest or political party. Instead, our commitment is to the American people, which is why more than 500,000 members support our work. And they have their own newspaper outlet, the Daily Signal. which is kind of I don't never come across it before, so they don't have their SEO right or something. And then they also have...
It's conservative, so it doesn't get,
Oh, you're right. Maybe
doesn't
that's
get pushed through the algos very often.
They also have the Train the Leaders of Tomorrow program. Sound familiar? Who will lead America
is this
to
Is this like a young global leader situation?
For America, yeah. Who will lead America to a brighter future and help unite the conservatives around principles and ideas that strengthen our cause and the nation? And yeah, so they have their own outreach program, which is very interesting that the new South Korean president-elect Yoon Suk-yeol is meeting with Klaus Schwab, who has their young global leaders, and then in the same day meeting with Heritage Foundation founder, who have their own conservative sort of outreach, young grooming program, so to speak. Dare I say, I might get in trouble for saying that, but there you go. So I just thought that was kind of an interesting side note that all of this still has ties to the World Economic Forum and that whole agenda that we just went through.